So I'm going to share with you 5 different resources for teaching reading and writing. These are resources for teachers or for students to use independently. So let's get started. So this first site is a free one. It's called Rewordify. At its simplest level, it can simplify difficult English for students so that they can understand a passage better. So you can copy and paste a passage directly in and it will put it in simpler terms, or you can look at passages that it already has on the site. You can effectively teach words for building better vocabulary, and it can also provide teachers with resources for building their lessons. So let's look into this. Let's click on the classic literature, see what they have on here. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Chapter 1. Okay, so see all these highlighted things are... Okay, so it changed the word stretchers to stiff frames with canvas for moving injured people. So it adds the definition of words. Also, you can click on words anywhere in here and it gives you the definition, the part of speech, and that's pretty exciting. So this second resource I think is really exciting because students can use it independently or teachers can use it as examples of how to brainstorm in your writing process, but the students can use it themselves before they write. So you create a storyboard basically, and this is another free resource. So you can pick scenery. I've already created one here, so you can pick the background, you can pick the characters, you can move their positions, you can add text and thought bubbles so that they're saying things. So students can, instead of drawing their picture by hand on paper, they can create their picture on the computer and they can already add text to it, so they're really planning for their writing. Now if we look a little closer, see there's all these different options of kinds of scenery. There's many different options of characters, even from medieval, classical era, monsters and myths. So students can be really creative with the genres that they're writing because the storyboard allows them to really brainstorm in creative ways. And then there's all these fun ways that they can add text or freeform text even, comic, artistic, signage. There's all kinds of really exciting ways that students can really change their style of writing, and they can work with different genres maybe they haven't worked with before. They can include all these shapes, even web and technology symbols, cloud gestures, and then they can upload it. So they can share it with the teacher, they can share it, okay, well this is how you upload your own images actually, so I was wrong. But there are ways that you can, so down at the bottom here you can save it. So you can share it with other students, you can share it with the teacher, you can even share it with parents at home to show them what you're doing in class. So this site is called Story Jumper. This is another one that's free, but you do need to sign up and have a login for it. So with this you can make your own storybooks. So students can use this on their own, or they can have the teacher help them. They can even do this at home with their families for fun. But they create their own storybooks and then they have the option to publish them. That is not totally free, but that is a very cool option. So I'm going to stop the video right now so I can create a sign up, and then once I'm in there I will let you know what it looks like. So I did not know before I signed up for this, but apparently there is an option to sign up as a teacher, which is really cool. So you can create a class, you can add your students to it, you can give them all usernames. I created 2 fake students, other practice and practice student. You can choose the amount of time that your class has to go on here. You can give them a password to sign on. There's your class ID number, and there's teacher's guides, and you can find handouts on here. It's really cool. So let's look in. I'm not really sure how to work this, so hold on, let me click around and then I'll come right back. So you can scroll through and you can find books that other students have already published that they've written themselves. And I didn't realize that by signing up as a teacher, I cannot actually write any storybooks. That is totally up to my students. So I can't demonstrate for you how to do that, but I think it's really cool that it's independent for the students. And I think it's great that they can read other students' writing, because then they can compare it to their own, see what they like about it, see what they don't like, and they can really go through the stages of comprehension with it. So that's pretty cool. And let's just see what one of them looks like. So we can play ages 4 to 10. That's cool. And this is all made by a student, which I think is really exciting. Okay, well it's a little hard to read, but it's a higher level book, it looks like, and it's hard to read in the video, but it's very cool that a student wrote this themselves, and I like that students can look at other students' writing, which is great. So I was actually wrong when I said that you can't write a storybook yourself, because now I'm totally seeing that you can. So there's text boxes, you can click on props to add illustrations, and it looks like there's all kinds of really cool ways that you can customize it. So I was wrong, don't listen to what I said earlier. You can make books and you can use them as models for your students. So this is a totally free site that students can use on their own or teachers can use to provide resources for students and print off poems. It is called poetryforkids.com. So students can go on here and they can read poems. They're all written by the children's author Ken Nesbitt, and he seems to have provided a lot of really cool resources for kids. If we look over here, there's the main menu. There's all kinds of things like there's a rhyming dictionary, there's poetry quizzes, there's lessons and activities, so that's really cool. So let's look at one of the poems. There's funny poems. I rode a rainbow unicorn. This looks like a poem that students would find really interesting. I believe there's a lot of different levels of difficulty of the word length and poem length on here, so it would work for all different ages of students, and again, they can use it on their own, which is very exciting for them having independence and having choice in what they're reading and what they're basing their writing off of. So this site is free as long as you don't use the ad-free version, then you have to pay to go ad-free. But there is an app, it can be accessed on a tablet. Everything is separated up by grade level, which I think is really helpful. If you click on a grade level, it features more than just reading and writing as subjects, but there's a reading tab that you can click on, and then it has games and resources for students to use. So I'm going to sign up and create a login and then show you what it looks like on the inside.